Hi, this is Carrie. Welcome to my channel. This is part 5 of 6 on my series of things to think about and prepare for if you're going to move to Mexico or probably any other country. My experience is Mexico, so that's what we're talking about here. And it's about to get real, okay? So, quick review. I've broken this up into 5 main buckets. The first one, the drivers, why you're leaving, why you're coming. The second one, what's your long-term intention in terms of your center of life. The third one, how you're going to approach language and language learning. The fourth one, engage, the way you're going to engage with the local community once you get here. And the last one, choices around where you're going to live. So this is the 4th topic on that list, the 5th video. Engagement, the approach you're going to bring, the mentality you're going to bring with you as you start to engage with the people around you when you get here to Mexico. And like I said, this one gets real. This one gets real. The rest of them have been pretty straightforward things you can do in your head. And I think to successfully navigate this topic, you're really going to have some introspection. You might have to do a little more research or thinking. I'm going to recommend another video that you listen to, and I'm going to recommend that you listen to it multiple times, not just for its primary topic, but for what it has to say around this issue. So, like it or not, the United States really has become a transactional society. We give so that we can get. We engage based on what we can get out of it. As we enter into new relationships with people, we are often trying to figure out how we can use that relationship to leverage it into another relationship, another introduction. Social media culture, living online, having a lot of our transactions be no longer in person, but like this, electronic, has really accelerated this trend, I think. There is not that sense of really living in community with others. Some people are lucky or have made choices to preserve that sense of community. But those choices in today's America must be intentional. I think the pandemic accelerated this problem in our culture, and it has not gotten better. It has only gotten worse. So I'll just chase a little rabbit here and urge you, whether you're moving to Mexico or staying in the United States, you need community, and that needs to be live community with real people, and you need to be intentional about it. And if that means you're the one who has to invite people over, for a cup of tea or a glass of beer, then you need to do that. And try to find a way to get it on your calendar, get it on the calendar of the people around you, and engage, be part of the community. Because this transactional mentality that we have, now you might not like that. You might have to sit with that allegation for a moment when I tell you that we have a transactional mentality. But if you bring it to Mexico, you're just going to make your life so much harder. Okay? So much harder. What can I get? What can I buy? Isn't my money good? Why don't they? ... Okay? So, when I came down here a little over a year ago, and there was quite a lot of remodeling to do, one of the first things I had to accept was that we work with local people, and that is people in the rancho, the little community where we live, this little community of, a couple hundred people. we start with them. And if there isn't someone here who provides the service that we need, then we can go into our market town and work with somebody there. But the person we work with there is going to be the cousin or uncle or brother of somebody from the rancho, okay? Because what is more important than the price they're going to charge is who they are and their relationship to us, and more importantly, our relationship to them in community. So the person we worked with who was our bricklayer, who got the actual construction of the parts that needed to be added on, he's also the person who was our plumber, and he did an excellent job. But it's not the same as in the United States, where you shop around, you get references, you have an agreement with a contractor, and they show up and they do the work. And here, we had one person, and he came out and he looked at the work, and we talked about what we needed, and he gave us a list of materials and told us where to buy it. So we go in and we buy all these materials, and then we wait. And we wait until the day or the days that he can come out and work on the project. And life could get in the way. Life could get in the way. In fact, life did get in the way at one point. His son was quite ill, had to go to the hospital. And when someone goes to the hospital in Mexico, people go with them. You don't just send them off to the hospital and continue life as normal here. So he needed to spend some time in the hospital. And then when he got back, he was behind not just on our project, but on other projects that he had made promises about. And so he split his time between the two. And meanwhile, it is extremely hot. The windows here, you can see one window here in the background, didn't even have glass in them, all right? It was common here. They had the security grates, the decorative metal grates over the openings, but there was no glass in the windows, and there was no air conditioning, and needed to get this stuff done. I was dying of heat. But that's not what was important. What was important was this person and the things that were going on in his life. And I needed to understand that and learn that right away. Right away. And, you know, you have a choice at that point. You can get frustrated, you can get angry, or you can get over it. You know, so my advice to you here is that you're going to need to get over it. That transaction mentality will not serve you well when you get to Mexico. And when you listen to these videos, these other creators online about why they're leaving and why they're unhappy, well, it's because the people around them don't act like Americans, particularly the service sector don't act like Americans. Well, they're not Americans. They're part of another culture, a beautiful, rich culture that you have chosen to come and interject yourself into. So the question is, are you going to enter in, or are you going to be the stereotypical ugly American? If you kind of sit back and look at how we treat service people in the United States, like at the restaurants, probably is the most obvious example, but really anyone who's providing a service for us, there's a tendency to treat them less than human, treat them dismissively, and it's not okay. It's not okay there. I told someone recently, if people say one thing about me when I die, I hope it is that I was kind. It is not hard to be kind. It is not typically an American way of entering the world or engaging the world, but truly, I urge you to make it one of your goals to be kind. There is no situation where you don't have the ability to engage and be kind. And that person here in Mexico who is taking your order at the restaurant and bringing you your food, or working behind the counter at the meat market, is likely the owner of that little shop or that little restaurant. They likely live in the back or above that little shop or that little restaurant with their family. And they're not less than you. Okay? They're not there to serve you. They're there to partner with you to get you fed. And the food we get here is amazing, amazing food. And there's one restaurant we go to a lot for the majara frito, which is a fried tilapia fish. Amazing quality, freshness. And it's taken a while, but you know, they've gotten to know us. And she now knows that I don't eat onions. And when we were there for lunch yesterday and I ordered the tilapia, she asked if she could bring me a salad without onions in it. And it was awesome. It was awesome. But I've been here over a year. I've been eating there over a year. Okay? And I should never assume that. And I certainly shouldn't get mad if she forgets, because it's not her job to remember. It's my job to ask. So if you're coming down here with this American transaction mentality, or this sense of entitlement, which we bring to bear in the United States in so many ways, it's simply not going to work for you here. So I suggest you practice now approaching the world in a different way, even while you're in the United States. Engage. Be kind. Be kind. There is a YouTube channel called Hispano Studies. You can find them if you search @Hispano _studies. Doesn't have a lot of videos, but they are excellent and they are meaty. Okay? They are deep. Any one of these videos could be listened to 4 or 5 times and you will learn something new. And the one I'm going to recommend as your homework from this lesson is called How to Be Catholic If You Don't Believe in God. How to Be Catholic If You Don't Believe in God. And that's on the YouTube channel @Hispano _studies. And I'm sure the first time you listen to it, you're going to listen to How to Be Catholic and Not Believe in God. But that's not what I want you to get out of it. What I want you to get out of it is the things that he has to say about community, about identity, okay? About how we take care of each other. Because if you want to be successful here, you're going to have to enter in. You're going to have to find a way to genuinely care about these people around you, not get ticked off when something in their personal life upsets your agenda. Okay? I've been here over a year and we've only recently gotten our backup water supply. But we have it now and it's amazing. I have a pressure pump. I can take a shower with pressure, hot water, reliable water, even when the city water is off. But it took me almost a year to get all those things in place. We recently purchased a generator. The electrician has been out to look at it. There's some part that he needs to wire it into the circuit so that if the power goes out, we can start the generator and run the entire house, including the refrigerators and the air conditioning. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting on that part. And it just takes time. Things just take time. But my relationship, our relationship with this man who's an electrician, who doesn't live in the rancho anymore. His father lives here. He lives in the market town and has a good business as an electrician. And he's busy and he's in demand. And usually when he comes and does work for me, it's because he's coming out to the rancho to see his father, and he's going to be out here a day or two anyway. So I'm waiting to get that generator hooked up, and I've lived without it for a year. I've worried on the days when the power goes out whether it'll come on soon enough to not thaw out everything that's in the refrigerator. And it's okay. It's okay. So part of my transformation has been learning to let that stuff go, right? To not get all bent out of shape and think I control things that are outside of my control. All right? So this topic of how are you going to engage? How are you going to engage? You need to find a way to move beyond that transactional mentality and engage as part of the community. And if you do that, your life will be a lot better. You're going to be a lot more successful. And my guess is you won't be a year or two in and talking to me about why you made a mistake and why you want to leave. All right? Thanks for listening. See you next time.